All right, hi friends, it's Stephanie again. We're gonna get Amanda back on here. I don't know exactly what happened. She got a new phone and technology, and this is also why we tell everyone that, you just gotta roll with it. Stuff doesn't always go right, and that's fine. Like, you just have to kind of embrace it and figure it out. And I mean, we've been doing this every week now for 7 months, which is crazy to believe it's been that long. But we are doing that. I'm going to add Amanda back as well, and we'll get it worked out once again. Hello again.
Hi.
I know you're
No echo.
No echo. You're really I can tell you're frustrated. It's fine. Like, this is part of technology and social media. Dale was asking the question about Instagram and Facebook stories. So this is a prime example as to why, like, I actually love stories over everything else. There's just less pressure. Like, just roll with it. It's fine. It works out. So your favorite commercial was the Verizon commercial.
So let's start over because we don't have anybody here, and then I'll reshare this. So anyone that's watching this live, and there's like 3 of you, we're just going to edit all of that out and just go for it. Okay, let's start over. So, Hi, Stephanie. How's it going today?
It's going great. It's 72 degrees here in Virginia. Everyone is thawed out of the Arctic and the tundra, which we're really excited about. So I am a happy gal. Kudos to all of those programs who were shut down but still fed kids through the weather, the snow, everything. You guys are rock stars. And today we're talking about the Super Bowl commercials and the power of marketing. I've said it, I think I said it last week. I'm not a football, not really a sports fan. I'm more fashiony than sporty. Like, it's not my thing. But I did watch the recap of the commercials over the next day, like yesterday, because that's the beauty of social media. You can just Google Super Bowl 2019 commercials, watch them all, and you don't have to suffer through 4 hours or 5 hours, however long it was. So I shopped for shoes and watched Downton Abbey on Super Bowl Sunday, and it made me very happy. And
that's super awesome.
What was one of your favorite commercials for Super Bowl?
By far, my favorite commercial, and I cried not once but twice, wow, was the Verizon commercial with the first responders. So it's one of the coaches, and his name escapes me. It's Lewis something. Regardless, he was in a huge accident and he was rescued. So he was coming back to a firehouse and giving this little speech about the importance of first responders. And 3 of the first responders from his accident were there. Like, cue the waterworks. Not only the next day did I say, that's a great commercial, but I also remembered what product they were selling. I mean, how many times does that happen? You think, oh, that was really clever, or that was really smart, and then you have no idea what they were selling. Happens with car commercials like all the time. But there were some really interesting things that kind of stuck with me. And as I was going to bed that night, I was thinking about it and saying, why was that impactful to me as a consumer? Consumers today, generation baby boomers to Generation Z, are onslaughted every day. Did I just make up a word? With marketing and media and people attempting to control their buying decisions. And isn't that what we're attempting to do within school nutrition? We would like them to come and eat with us.
I think it's important, and I like that you pointed out about that you actually remembered what they were selling. And I think that goes back to branding. And when you're even with your program in school nutrition, you could be doing 1,000,001 different things. But if people truly don't remember your program as like being responsible for feeding kids, that's ultimately what we're in the business to do. And we wouldn't be able to do the other things in our program without the kids being the heart and soul of our program, and our teams who are making the meals because they're doing it. They're our brand.
So another one that did a really interesting take and something we can learn about was Bud Light. They capitalized on the fact that now they have to have the ingredients listed on their Bud Light cans. So not only did they target the fact that there was no high fructose corn syrup in Bud Light, but they consistently restated this message. I think it was 3 times. And that is huge money to be spending on Super Bowl commercials. For folks that don't know, like to be in a Super Bowl commercial, to be like in during the Super Bowl, you have to have like 3 times that you put money into marketing to be in a Super Bowl, have like that prime time marketing. So
it's $5 million per slot. $5 million per Super Bowl 30-second Super Bowl slot. So if a company is featuring more than one commercial, they're spending $5 million per commercial. That's what they had on per CNN. CNN said that yesterday. So yeah.
But what I loved about that was the consistency of the message. So isn't it important as school nutrition professionals, not only do we need to communicate things, but we need to re-communicate things. You need to communicate things once, twice, 3 times. I was just enough speaking to one of my purchasers today with our buying group, trying to get people to buy something. And I said to her, it really takes 3 times before not a kid, but an adult sees something before we choose to buy it as directors. You know, we see it at a show, we see it at a show again, we realize it's not leaving, and then maybe that 3rd time we kind of take that gamble. So not only do we need to be very targeted about what we're saying, but we need to be consistent about saying it and saying it often.
Yeah, and I think what you said about Bud Light emphasizing the high fructose corn syrup being removed from their product, those are the buzzwords. As crazy and silly as it is, if like things like carrots probably don't have GMOs, but GMO free. There you go. Gluten free. A carrot is gluten free naturally. But you know what? Parents are seeing that on a bag of carrots at the grocery store. So just talk about that and talk about, it goes back to transparency and sustainability and talking about where your products are coming from, the integrity of your products, because I think often school nutrition programs are viewed like we're hiding something, and we're not hiding anything about our products. Like, we have to be transparent. And so just putting those buzzwords out there, like we focus heavily on eliminating artificial dyes and colors and flavors. And so you better believe if it's a product, I will tweet that out and put that out there because that's what our parents care about. And so you just have to keep on reiterating that.
Absolutely. And the 3rd thing that I really love from these people that get paid millions of dollars to create, I mean, there's so many marketing minds, I'm sure, that go into creating these, like you said, $5 million 30-second commercials.
Yep. You're breaking up again, Amanda.
Nope, it's you. Anywho,
okay.
So
all right, keep going.
There you go. So what they're doing also is utilizing humor. And not only are they tugging on our heartstrings, and they're also utilizing the opposite emotion and evoking a joyful response. I love it when people say that laughter is your body not being able to contain joy. And what an amazing thing. And one of my favorite commercials, but I don't remember, I think it was a T-Mobile commercial, okay? Was the parent was texting their child, and he was texting, but he thought it was Google, and he was asking for like a recipe. It was like sweet potato casserole recipe or something like that. And it was like sweet potato recipes, casserole recipes. And the daughter texts back and goes, "Dad, this is not Google." So he said, "Okay, honey." And then he's like, best sweet potato casserole recipes. So then she decided it was an easier way to end the conversation by just sending him the recipe. So I thought it was just so cleverly done. A little bit of a play on, the baby boomers' lack of technology versus the Gen Zers who are, schooling their parents on how to utilize technology today. But I don't remember I think it was T-Mobile, but I'm not sure. But regardless, I laughed. I had a good time. And you know what? If you can't enjoy or inject some humor into what we're doing every day, you know, we need to be personable. We need to have fun in our kitchen, not take ourselves too seriously. And, you know, that would be I just think a great lesson to learn going forward. You're
Well,
very
fun
funny.
fact, I
You're
love
very funny on a lot of things you post.
I'm very funny.
You can be very funny. I like your humor. Food humor, puns, you're all over that.
I am. I like that. And then I think it's like I like how you talked about it's all about having fun. So one thing, I'm working on a special project, and I can't talk about it because some of our managers watch us every week and I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I sent out like a little Q&A to all of our managers, and one of the questions was, how do you have fun in your kitchen? Because I think it's like so important, because kids can pick up on that too if they are walking into the kitchen and they feel like the staff is just disgruntled and not having fun. And a lot of our managers responded and they're like, you have to have fun. Like, that's how you build a team too, is because you create this thing. And so some of our managers said they have fun by having monthly potlucks in their kitchen, and they embrace the cultural diversity of their kitchen. So every employee brings in a traditional item and they eat lunch together. So are they eating school lunch that day? No, but they're eating together as their school family, which I love and I think is great. A lot of people say that they put on music or they sing when they're cleaning up in the evening after lunch is over. And so I just think you have to kind of have fun with it. And I'm a big kid at art, so I think anytime you can have fun is great. We had 2 new interns start this week, and I talked about my school nutrition rotation and my dietetic internship. And I talked about how my preceptor, Andrea Early in Harrisonburg City, sometimes she watches, I did a strawberry banana oatmeal bar taste test with kids during my rotation. I dressed up like a strawberry and she dressed up in a banana costume. And like, we like served kids. But you know what, Amanda? That experience and that day was the day that transformed my true perception of school nutrition. And I truly knew that my place where I wanted to be as a dietitian was in a school and in a school district. And it was that day where I was like, I am 28 years old wearing a strawberry dress. My preceptor is wearing a banana costume, and this is acceptable and normal. I am in my element. And so and so having fun, like, you know, like, you have to take yourself seriously to an extent, and sure, you have there's a time and a place for every circumstance. And so, but I think like, having fun and rolling with it and doing that and just kind of getting on there. But what do you guys do in your schools? How do your teams like have fun in the kitchen?
I think I'm hysterical. I'm a big fan. So I have digital signage. The only person that has control over the digital signage is myself in our high school. But I also bought felt boards for all of my staff for all their locations, because it's something super easy they can do. And then you get the letters and you put them in the little container thing. So I think that's a super fun way to inject some humor. Like right now, the felt board says, I wish everything in life was as easy as eating school lunch. So it's just something fun. And my staff looks forward to it because I think I'm so clever. So I handle it up at the high school. But we also utilize it to communicate information. But it's just a way for us kind of connect with the students in kind of that old school feel good kind of way. And we can get kind of creative. What I did this week was it's cold. I said important announcement. It's cold. And then the next day was important public service announcement. It's still cold. And I thought I was hysterical. My husband did not agree. But it was pretty funny. You know, just being lighthearted about it, because if one more person on that day posted an Instagram photo of their thermometer in their car, I was going to lose my mind. So taking something that everyone can also relate to. It's something very relatable. Everyone that's coming through that door is experiencing school lunch in one way or another. Everyone who, I don't know, came to school that day experienced that cold. And just circling back to those Super Bowl commercials, everyone's had that awkward text with someone, or everyone has had that opportunity where they've been in a situation and felt that joy or felt that sadness. So I don't know. I love what I get to do every day. So it's a beautiful
Me
thing.
too. I love it. I mean, I think it's exciting and I think it's great, but I think it's also, it's just gives another example of how looking at things like commercials and seeing what you can take away from that and apply to your program, the same way that if you're reading about food trends or reading about ways to manage a team, those different things, like just use, the world is your oyster. Use all of your resources and just kind of do it. And you can look at things and you're like, wow, that's a clever marketing strategy. How can I kind of reinvent that for my program so it's applicable to school nutrition? And so, I mean, look at what we've come up with since we've been sitting here talking about this, like just a commercial about showing Gen Z and the baby boomers, and we're sitting here talking about how that translates into having fun in your kitchen with your staff. And so I think it's really important. So yeah, I'm excited. And Amanda, do you want to talk about what you have coming up this week? In 2 days?
Thursday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, we begin, very excitingly, our special political edition of Live from My Desk, where we will be interviewing this week and next week our president-elect candidates for School Nutrition Association. So that is super exciting. So if you didn't have the opportunity to see the lovely Miss Dove interviewing our vice presidential candidates, you can catch that on our Facebook page, Live from My Desk, also via our podcast. And get informed and rock the vote. Comes up, when are we starting voting? And after Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, the 15th is when it starts. And you can go on to schoolnutrition.org to learn more about the voting process and more about the candidates. But the Q&A is really fun because you get to know more about the candidates outside of just seeing their name on a ballot or their photo on the stage at like ANC or SNIC. So you really get to know them a little bit more. And the past 2 weeks, I have learned so much more about the vice presidential candidates that I had no idea about. So it was really exciting. So happy to watch Amanda the next 2 weeks to interview the president-elect candidates. And yeah, we'll wrap up just in time for everyone to cast their votes if you haven't voted. And yeah, so we are really excited. And Amanda, go out and enjoy the sunshine. And
thank you very much. I will leave my windowless office and see the sun.
Yes, you have to go outside, step outside. Hope everyone has a great day. I'll see you guys back here with Amanda next week, and Amanda will be back on Thursday. So have a great day.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.